Zacharia brought back a few eggs, bread, and some milk to the barn for their late breakfast, Jack slurping down the milk like it was nectar, eggs soon following. He left a mess across his face but didn't care. He just needed to ease the pangs in his stomach. The two others ate slower, taking their time to actually enjoy their meal, while they could, unsure when they'd be able to get food again. By lunchtime, the woman asked them to leave, and so the three friends got into their van and drove on, heading deeper into Nelfallen. Lush farmers' fields greeted them, golden crops of corn and wheat. Elven men and boys, burnt brown by the sun, sweating away, bringing in their livelihoods. Only a few gave them a glance, still fewer waved. Most just stared and returned to work. Nelfallen's heartland Gwyneth would give them several villages and towns to choose from to hide none better suited than Carmarith, a mining town situated close to Karlsvog mine, where the local residents had been digging for over 5 centuries. You sure about this? Jack questioned Zacharia as they pulled into the town, a couple of mud-covered miners watching them as they passed. Miners can be crumps. Crumps. Yeah, crumps. Romana laughed, shifting in her seat to look back at Jack. I think you mean grumps, they're genius. Yeah, he said, giving a sheepish smile. It wasn't uncommon for him to say a word but be thinking of a completely different one. Well, Zacharia tapped a finger on the wheel. Grumps or not, it's still our best bet, staying out of Bonan's crosshairs. Just make sure not to piss him off, okay, you two? Romana said she'd be on her top best behavior. Jack grunted something along the lines of people needed to show respect in order to get it. You two are hopeless. Dropping Romana and Jack off at a dingy motel at the edge of town. Zacharia drove into the marketplace to see if he could pick up some things for supper. Not wanting to risk Jack baking a chocolate cake, he begged he'd try. Nope, Zach had said, never gonna happen. I'm cooking a meal. He remembered this brief conversation as he walked among elven women searching for their own supper dishes. Thin, ragged-looking things, perhaps once beautiful but worn down by the mines, these women appeared to just be going through the motions of life, mundane and boring though it was. Looking for some fruit? An elderly vendor asked him, tugging on his shirt sleeve gently. Zach turned to face the man, startled when he saw much of his nose and jaw missing. The vendor, used to this sort of reaction by now, chuckled at the younger man's shock. Mining accident, he said, 20 years ago now. An explosion near took my whole face off. I'm lucky to be alive. 10 others weren't so lucky. He grabbed an apple and tossed it in the air before catching it. Fruit. Zacharia scanned the stall. Bananas, apples, oranges, and 1 pear. Not exactly a supper of champions, in his opinion. Still, he bought the apple and wished the elder a good day before heading over to a meat cellar. A large, red-headed woman who looked more manly than the man he assumed was her husband beside her, his thin frame tiny in comparison with her solid body. Hamburger? The woman asked, her voice soft and delicate, a strange contrast to her appearance. Sure, Zach pulled out his money pouch and dropped 10 silver coins on the table, the husband scooping them up eagerly like a vulture. The wife slapped Hamburger down and wrapped it in a brown paper bag for him. Enjoy, she said with a smile. Zacharia returned it and snatched up the meat, hoping to the gods Jack wouldn't be picky or try to bake his own stuff in competition with his food.